Hey folks, just getting this set up. All right. Hey y'all, Bennett here with Banjo Licks. I'm here to share a lesson with you on practicing with the metronome using the alternating thumb roll. And this is at its core, on paper, it's simple. We're just playing something that anybody can play. It's a 4-note pattern, but to play it with the metronome in a couple different ways can be a good exercise in focus and consistency, and also develop your timing. Why am I doing this? Well, the 32 Days to Solid Timing Challenge is starting on July 1st, and I'm really excited about it. So I wanted to come on here and share, what a little of this challenge is going to look like, and also give you a little bit of something that you can use in your practice routine. The timing challenge is $67 for the month of July, and you get a new lesson every single day that you'll practice with for 10 minutes a day. Private lessons will run you $60 to $80 an hour. This gives you something to practice every single day, and all you got to do is show up, press play, practice along with the recording of me playing with the metronome or me playing with the guitar track, and then share your progress and share your breakthroughs or questions that you have in the community. And we're all going to do this together. So there's going to be a group of people coming on and sharing their experience at the same time that you are doing the challenge. And the point is that you get into a rhythm and you can start to practice consistently every single day. And this type of practice becomes consistent. I feel like we're pulled in a lot of different directions when we are learning an instrument, especially the banjo. There's so many different amazing musicians and different styles you can play on the banjo, even in just bluegrass. There's a lot of different ways that you can approach it. It's nice to settle and do something simple for yourself. And so that's where we're going to hone in on timing. So before I talk more about the timing challenge, let me show you what we're going to be doing today. I've got my handy dandy metronome out. It's set to 80 beats per minute. So that's what we're going to practice at. That's a good starting tempo. And what we're going to do is the simple alternating thumb roll. So that's just 3, 2, 5, 1. 3, 2, 5, 1. And you're going thumb, index, thumb, middle. And so to start out, all we're going to do is listen to the metronome and hear it click at 80 and see if we can sing that out loud or pat. Bum, 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 bum. We're just doing one note per click. Bum, 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 bum. Because the banjo is just an extension of ourselves. And if we can sing it out loud and we can pat along with the metronome, that gives us a cue for actually putting it onto our instrument. So I'll do that again. I'll start to play after a few times of singing it through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. All right, that feels pretty good. So now let's slow it down a little bit. I'm going to put it on 69, and we're going to do 2 notes per click. So this is kind of step 2, is you've played 1 note per click. You know what that feels like. You know what that sounds like. Now let's give ourselves a mathematical problem here. So we're going to play 2 notes per click. They have to be as even as possible for this to work. So what we're going to do is put that metronome, listen to it, and now we're going to sing along with that 2 notes per click, or pat along with that. Da, ba, ba, ba. That's a good starting point. So da, 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 1, 2, 1, 2, bum, 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 bum. that's feeling good. I mean, if you're playing along, how does that feel to you? You can leave a comment below, and also let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear where you are. I'm in North Carolina. This is what I call the shed. It's a building that used to be a lawnmower shed, and I converted it into a music studio. So I've got all my video gear here, all my audio gear, and this is where I shoot all the videos for Banjo Licks. And a little bit about me before we keep going into this lesson, because there's more that we can do. I'm a professional musician. I've been playing for about 20 years, 25 years, I guess, at this point. I started in high school. I'm 37 now. I've played on Broadway on the Bright Star show that Steve Martin and Edie Brickell wrote together. And I've played on the Grand Ole Opry, soundtracks like The Greatest Showman and Poker Face. And I've played major festivals, shared the stage with Billy Strings, Del McCoury, Ricky Skaggs, Steep Canyon Rangers, and so many more. And I love teaching people how to learn banjo by ear. So that's my mission as a teacher. But I also love to perform and write my own music. And I'm here to help you train your ears and train your timing. So let's get back to the lesson here. Hey, Brian, South Florida. Good to hear you. Good to see you. All right, so we got 69 beats per minute. We're going to go one note per click. So back to what I was saying before, you did 2 notes per click, and that was with the metronome at 69. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go from 1 note per click to 2 notes per click, and it's going to sound like this. 2, 3, 4. Now switch. Back to 1 note per click. So that might on paper seem boring or seem simple, but what you're going to be practicing here is not just going from 1 note per click to 2 notes per click. You want to practice hearing 2 notes per click before it happens. So while you're playing 1 note per click, practice hearing something before it happens. And that's training a whole lot of different things. That's training improvisation. That's training your timing, because you're focusing on doing one thing, but also anticipating the next thing. And you're also listening to the metronome while you do this and locking it. So there's a lot of computation going on in your brain and in your fingers while you play this. And this is why we practice slow, is so we can do all of this stuff. And if you just jump into playing fast, or if you learn from a piece of tab and it's something that you really want to play and you really want to get it up to speed, of course you're going to try and play it up to speed immediately. And that's not the way that you should do it. You got to slow it down, make sure your fingers and your mind are working together on the instrument, and then bump it up from there. All right, so that's the lesson for today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 32 Days for Timing Challenge. Welcome, Banjo Stooley from the Netherlands. This challenge is starting on July 1st, and it is $67 for the month. And you get a new lesson every single day that you can press play and play along with. And it's 10 minutes out of your day. If you can't make every day, that's okay. You can just jump in where you left off, or you can jump in where the group is. I say group because we're all going to be doing this at the same time. I've got a group of members who are doing it. There are people that have signed up already that are really excited about it. And there's a community on Banjo Licks that we're all going to be sharing our insights and our questions and our challenges. So the point of that is to hold you accountable so you don't give up, so you stick with the process, because 32 days is a long time to do one thing. And yes, the exercises are different every day, but it's still a long time to stay consistent. And that's what we're really aiming for here, is consistency. Because if you can consistently show up for 10 minutes a day in your banjo practice, that's where you can actually make a difference in your playing. So it's one exercise every 2 days. The first day is with the metronome. The second day is with the guitar backing tracks. And that's just to reinforce the first day of the exercise. So we're going to start out simple with the 3rd string pinch. and it goes all the way up to some vamping patterns. And we'll practice slow at 70 beats per minute so you can really get that timing down. And many people that I've taught have not actually practiced at that slow tempo before. So it is challenging right off the bat to practice slowly for an extended period of time. And so that's kind of the beauty of it. You get into this trance state where you're not really thinking about the exercise anymore. You are just letting your fingers work and do the work. So there's a lot to be gained from this process. And yeah, you could just, put on a metronome and practice every day. And I think you should do that. But the reason I put this together is that I think there's a lot of value in us all doing it at the same time, like a group of banjo players coming together and working on a goal together, the same goal, and pumping each other up. There's a lot of value in that. And also, not having to think about what to practice next is valuable too, because it's hard to know what to practice every day when there's so many things you could practice. So it's all about simplicity. That's what I keep coming back to when I teach lessons is what's the simplest way you can play Big Sciota or Cherokee Shuffle so that you can play it musically. Because when we put all the notes in there, it gets a little jumbled and the timing gets off, and you can't be as expressive as you could be if there's less notes. So I'm looking at my notes here because I've got notes down to share with you, but the exercises go progressively more difficult as the month goes on. So you're not just practicing the same simple alternating thumb roll or third string pinch every single day. And the main thing is to stay consistent and to share in the community. The community is the sweet spot, and it's new to Banjo Licks. So I'm really excited about everybody jumping in there and sharing. I'm going to be posting every day and checking in with people. We're going to do 4 live Q&As. So if you feel stuck, you can jump on there and you can ask me a question or send your questions in beforehand, and I will answer them and help support you through this timing journey. So you're not going to be alone at all in this. Like I said, it's $67, man. The cost of a private lesson for an hour is $60 to $80. And that identifies issues in your playing. Maybe if you get a good teacher, this is going to help you get consistency in your routine every single day and actually probably help you become a much better player. That's the goal, at least. If you show up every day and you're consistent and you're sharing on the community and you're getting excited about it, you're going to want to continue in this pattern, and you're going to know how to practice every single day with the metronome and with backing tracks, and also and learn a bunch of bluegrass vocabulary in the process. It's going to be a blast. The doors close on July 30th, and we start day 1 on July 1st. Did I say June 30th for the doors close? June 30th for doors closing. You can comment below if you want a sample lesson for the 32 days to solid timing challenge. Just comment below and put timing, and I will send you a lesson so you can kind of get the gist of what the challenge is all about. But it's essentially going to be simplifying and being consistent every day. And if you can't make every day, that's all good. Cool it. Good morning. Let's rock and roll it. Yeah, man. So I'm excited about it. Even if you don't join, that's all good. Practice your alternating thumb roll with the metronome. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. Do it for a third day just to see what happens. It might be a good warm up for you to practice going from 1 note per click to 2 notes per click. All right. That's what I'll leave you with right now. I'll be back tomorrow around this time. Am I going to commit to 11? Am I going to commit to 11 a.m.? I think I can. Let's commit to 11 o'clock. I'm going to do 11 o'clock tomorrow for another timing tip and lesson. So if you can join me tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern time, I will see you there. I'll put it in my calendar right now so I don't forget. But thanks for joining me, and thanks for the comments, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow at 11.